Okay, this is the trig graph problem, and it's a place where you guys should have all got 4 marks if you just knew how to even work your calculator or the basic idea of a cos graph. It says cos of 3x, we're supposed to graph it, in between minus 60 and 180 degrees. Well, you could put 0 in there and go 0, the cosine of 0 is 1. And a cosine graph goes from 1 and then all the way back to 1. But you have to know how to figure out the period. How long does it take to go through a complete wave? And you go 360 divided by 3. It should be 120 degrees. So it should go, that's the distance, the period. And the step, every 30 degrees, it goes to something significant, from 1 to 0 to minus 1 to 0 back to 1. That's what it does. The step is normally 90 degrees, but we divide it by 3. It's 30 degrees. So you have to know, you could put in 30 degrees and you'd get 0. If you put in 60 degrees, you'll get minus 1. If you put in 90, you'll get 0. And if you put in 120, you'll get 1. Another 30 degrees, back to 0, then to minus 1. There's the wave. If you go 30 to the left, put in minus 30. I don't need to. I know it's going to go to 0. And then I know it goes to minus 1 because it's a wave and it goes between 1 and minus 1 and 0. And that's the way it works. So that's what your graph should look like. Now, you'd get 3 marks if you got all those points and all this stuff, but if you don't label it, you'd lose marks. And even now that I look at this thing, I might lose a mark here because I should label this thing as y equals, you should go y equals cos 3x. You need to label, usually it's called f or g or something like that, but if the teacher might be kind to you, but you should write y equals cos 3x. The other things you need to label, though, are the turning points, 120 degrees in 1, 160 degrees in minus 1. Label the turning points and the end points. It says indicate, so it means you got to label it. Minus 60 and minus 1, 60 to the left, minus 1, 180 and minus 1. There you're going to get all your 4 marks. The main idea, though, is I knew 360 divided by 3. I knew it took 120 degrees to go through a wave. Instead of a step of 90, I knew every 30 degrees something happened. And that's how I was able to get those 4 marks.